Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, April 27th. We have all you need to know about charges in an animal neglect case, as well as the latest on the blocking of funding for security upgrades at Governor Josh Shapiro's home.
We also have more on the correspondence dinner shooting, along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kaitlyn Pfeifer.
And I'm Alicia Ernst. A Bellefonte woman is facing nearly 50 criminal charges following the rescue of more than 40 dogs from her Spring Township home. 56-year-old Denise Crape was formally charged by the Center County Sheriff's Office weeks after the animals were found living in deplorable conditions in early March. Investigators say Crape was initially contacted authorities herself in late February asking to surrender 10 dogs. But when officials arrived shortly after, they discovered 42 mixed breed dogs that were emaciated and severely flea infested. All of the dogs were surrendered to the Center County Paws organization, where they have since been recovering. Crape now faces misdemeanor charges headlined by counts of neglecting to provide veterinary care.
A State College couple is facing felony charges after their 5-year-old son fell from a ski lift at Blue Knob Resort. Police say the child was riding the ski lift alone in March when he fell about 20 feet to the ground. The boy was flown to a Pittsburgh hospital but survived without serious injuries. Investigators say it took about 15 minutes for staff to find the child's parents after the fall. Court documents say the child had been riding the lift by himself multiple times before the incident. Both parents have been charged with endangering the welfare of a child and released on bail.
A Pennsylvania appeals court has ruled that the state constitution guarantees the right to an abortion, striking down a decades-old law that banned state Medicaid funds from covering abortion costs. The divided 7-judge panel of the Commonwealth Court sided with Planned Parenthood and abortion clinic operators who first filed suit in 2019. The ruling marks the first time abortion rights have been explicitly protected under the Pennsylvania Constitution. Governor Josh Shapiro praised the decision, saying a woman's access to reproductive care should never be determined by her income.
The Pennsylvania Treasury, led by Stacey Garrity, says it cannot legally pay more than $1 million for security upgrades at Governor Josh Shapiro's private home. Garrity says state rules do not allow taxpayer money to be used for work on a non-state-owned property. The upgrades were done after a firebomb attack at the state-owned governor's mansion last year. The work included new security systems and other improvements to protect the governor and his family. Shapiro's office says the decision is political and calls for the money to be paid for under the law. Lawmakers may still decide whether to approve the payment through the state budget process. Earlier today, all 5 of Pennsylvania's living former governors released a joint statement calling on state leaders to make Shapiro's security a priority. Now, can students expect nice weather for the last week of classes? Student meteorologist Frank Gargione has this week's forecast. Frank?
Thanks, Kaitlyn. As we start off here with our forecast, multiple locations across the state of Pennsylvania, currently sitting in the upper 60s into the mid 70s. An absolutely gorgeous day. Take a look at some of these cameras. Pittsburgh, the skyline is looking nice. Few clouds in the sky, but overall dry and just a beautiful day to get outside as we take a look at our temperatures here across the state of Pennsylvania, anywhere from the low 60s to the mid 70s right now. 63 in Johnstown, 68 in Bradford. Franklin, I'm not even getting a reading for you as you take a look towards our south and towards our east. Harrisburg currently at 69, Allentown 71, and Philadelphia at 73. Now, in terms of where we are for our average, we're about 0 to 10 degrees above average for most of the spots here on the map. Anywhere where you don't see any of this orange shading, temperatures are right around average for this time of year. Erie is the only exception, currently 13 degrees above where they're supposed to be for their average right now. Everywhere else just comfortably sitting in the 60s and 70s, and in my opinion, that is the weather to have. What also helps is that it's completely dry and free of precipitation. This is what we like to see here. The entire day, not a cloud in the sky here, not a raindrop in the sky as well. Just an absolutely perfect day. I would recommend to get outside tonight and get out and enjoy the conditions while you can, because it will change as we take a look at our future weather. As we head into Monday night, clouds start to build in from the west with our nest system currently sitting over Ohio. As we continue on Monday night into Tuesday morning, waking up for your 8 a.m. class, expect a few showers here and there across Center County and here in State College. This eventually moves off to the east as we head throughout the rest of the morning and into the afternoon here on Tuesday with some lingering showers to the west. This will start to make its way through as we head into the evening hours and towards the dinner rush in about coming home from work time frames. So expect some showers, but as we head into Tuesday evening into early Wednesday, expect it to remain dry. Now, as we head beyond Tuesday night here and into Wednesday, we do have cloud coverage building in once again as you start to wake up for those early morning calm shifts here. Now, as we head throughout the rest of the Wednesday morning and into the afternoon, it stays dry until we get to that rush hour around dinner time. Precipitation once again moving towards the east here in State College, and this lingers as we head throughout the rest of Wednesday night into early Thursday morning before clearing up as we head around 8 a.m. Now, as we head into Thursday, and expect to stay dry here around 10 p.m. here on Thursday, the whole day. Expect some cloud coverage, eventually diminishing as we head into Thursday night. But as we head into Friday, our next system starts to creep up and move east once again here, bringing a rain chances Tuesday, around 2:30, not Tuesday, here on Friday. And as we head throughout the rest of Friday, expect it to be wet. Now, tonight here in State College, expect a low temperature of 50 degrees with mostly cloudy conditions, a southeasterly wind at 9 miles per hour, and a low precipitation chance of only 5%. As we take a look as we head into tomorrow here, expect temperatures in the upper 50s here, 58 degrees. That's a little bit below average for this time of year. Once again, cloudy conditions with that chance for rainfall early in the morning and a southerly wind at 12 miles per hour. As we take a look at our 7-day forecast, temperatures are expected to remain below average for pretty much the entire week. We are 58 tomorrow, 59 on Wednesday, and we start to decrease as we head throughout the rest of the week here. 55 on Friday, and it only gets worse as we head into Saturday here. 53 degrees, and our lows are back in the 30s. 35 degrees as our low on Saturday before slightly warming back up as we head into the end of the week here on Sunday. 56 degrees before getting right around average here on Monday at 63. Back to you, Kaitlyn.
Thanks, Frank. Now over to Jenna with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Kaitlyn. I'm Jenna Wisman with your sports update. Penn State men's volleyball swept Princeton this weekend in Rec Hall for their 4th straight EIVA tournament title and 38th in program history. Penn State's record now sits at 22-7 overall and marks their 11th straight victory. They earned the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Sean Harvey was voted the most outstanding player of the tournament, hitting .308 with 12 kills, 6 digs, 5 blocks, and 1 ace. Now the Nittany Lions will open the NCAA tournament against UC Irvine on Friday at UCLA's Pauley Pavilion. The 2026 NFL Draft has officially concluded with 8 Nittany Lions drafted. 6 of those draft picks came on day 3. However, offensive lineman Vega Ione went 14th overall to the Baltimore Ravens. Former Penn State quarterback Drew Aller will be staying in PA. He went 76th overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then on day 3, that's when things started to heat up a little bit. Drew Shelton, Denai Dennis Sutton, Zachy Wheatley, Nick Singleton, Zane Durant, and Katron Allen were all drafted. Penn State has 8 NFL draft selections for the 14th time in program history, first time since 2024. Wheatley marked the 400th pick in Penn State's NFL draft selection of all time. Penn State is one of 3 schools to produce at least 5 picks in each of the last 9 NFL drafts. The Battle of PA continues. The Pittsburgh Penguins host Game 5 tonight of the Eastern Conference first-round playoffs against the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers are up 3-1 over the Penguins, but Pittsburgh's win on Saturday in Philadelphia assured they wouldn't get swept. Philadelphia now gets a second chance to advance tonight at 7 p.m., leading the best-of-7 series. The Flyers have not won a Stanley Cup playoff series since 2020. 10 of the Flyers have made their NHL debuts this series, so the team is learning and adapting on the fly. Pittsburgh forward Brian Rust said after Saturday's win, quote, "It gave us a little bit of confidence," end quote. We'll see if Philadelphia puts an end to that confidence tonight. Across the pond, in a once inconceivable achievement, the 2-hour barrier for a marathon has been broken by not one, but 2 runners. Yesterday, Sebastian Saw of Kenya won the London Marathon in 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds, shattering the previous men's world record by a whopping 65 seconds. The second place finisher, Ethiopia's Yomif Kethgel Chush, running in his first marathon, finished just 11 seconds back. And the third place finisher, Uganda's Jacob Kiplimo, also broke the previous record that was set in 2023 by 7 seconds, finishing in 2 hours and 28 seconds. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Katie Karganeg has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Katie Karkanek with your entertainment update. Center County Sock and Buskin Theater Company will debut their first musical starting April 30th. Sock and Buskin was founded in 2022 by Stephanie Austin, Carrie Williamson, and Greg Baptista. Since then, the theater has performed one-acts, dinner plays, and staged readings. The company will debut Stephen Sondheim's A Funny Way to the Forum from April 30th to May 3rd. Tickets can be purchased online through their website or at the door of the event. Nittany Valley Symphony will conclude their 59th season this Friday at Bellefonte Area High School. The performance, titled Hearts on Fire, will feature works from William Shakespeare, Jean Sibelius, and so much more. The symphony will also be joined by George Carpton IV, a Penn State professor of trumpet. Tickets are $25 for adults and $5 for students and children. Tickets can be found online. The Student Programming Association brought a summer camp-themed event to students last week. Reporter Taylor Pollock is live in the studio now with more. Taylor?
Thanks, Katie. With the semester coming to a close, students found a new way to take a break right here on campus. Let's take a look.
Music, games, and plenty of free food filled Alumni Hall Tuesday afternoon as the Student Programming Association hosted a campus-wide event to help students unwind. From friendship bracelets and bingo to face painting and inflatables, students had no shortage of activities to choose from. The Student Programming Association, also known as SPA, was formed in 2006 and has since become a major presence on campus, known for bringing artists, speakers, and events aimed at enhancing the student experience.
What made me come today was my friend sent me the Instagram post, and we've been going to many events, and we just want to do as many side quests as we can before we leave.
For many students, events like this are a chance to try something new, spend time with friends, and take advantage of what campus has to offer.
It may just look like a fun afternoon in Alumni Hall, but with finals approaching, students are able to let go of the stress and meet campus connections.
Organizers say that sense of connection and the strong turnout is exactly what they hope to create. And while the activities may seem simple, SPA says the goal is to create an environment where students can relax and feel a sense of community.
Yeah, as a student myself, I know planning things like this definitely gets my mind off of having to do finals. Being able to take a break from anything is honestly good and fun, and I'm pretty sure it's beneficial to you as well. So,
as the semester winds down, events like this continue to bring students together, offering a break from the pressure of class and a reminder to enjoy the college experience.
As finals approach, events like this will continue to pop up across campus to help students unwind. We'll keep you updated on more happenings around Penn State. Back to you, Katie.
Thanks, Taylor. In national news, Nedra Talley Ross, the last living member of the Ronettes, has died at 80 years old. Ross was a founding member of the girl group where she was joined by her 2 cousins, Veronica and Estelle Bennett. The Ronettes took the 60s by storm with timeless hits like Be My Baby and Baby I Love You topping charts at the time. Ross had her own solo career after leaving the Ronettes and created several Christian records. Her cause of death is yet to be revealed, but her music will live on forever. Dancing with the Stars dancer Brennan Armstrong announced he will no longer be on tour due to a broken elbow. Armstrong posted a TikTok on Saturday saying he is, quote, super bummed about his departure and that he has been dealing with a problem in his elbow for some time. Amid his leaving the Dancing with the Stars tour, he reassured fans that he will attend the Dancing with the Stars con at the end of the summer. And he says he, quote, can't wait to come out there and dance for you guys. The con is scheduled from July 31st to August 2nd in Palm Springs, California. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Haley Miller will be speaking with Hannah Mueller, a lab attendant. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
When he knew that, how do you say
I know. She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before, so welcome to the family.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with David Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out.
Reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Haley Miller, and tonight I'm joined by Hannah Mueller, a lab attendant in the Belisario Media Center. Hannah, thanks so much for speaking with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So can we start off by just telling me your year, what your major is, maybe any minors that you have?
I'm currently a sophomore. I'm a double major in telecommunications and English with a minor in sports studies currently.
Okay. And we're both comm majors. It's so busy. Can you tell me a little bit about some of your involvement maybe in other clubs?
Yeah, of course. So I'm very heavily involved in PSN TV in Sports Night as well as Nittany Talk. I'm an executive producer for Sports Night now, as well as host and on-air talent for Nittany Talk and behind the scenes. I'm a videographer in comm agency, and I'm also a photographer for various different organizations in College of Comm.
So you clearly have a lot of other commitments. What made you want to add a lab attendant, such a big role, onto your plate?
I kind of found it was very important to have those different experiences that make you really well-rounded, because obviously as a lab attendant, you become really well-versed in technical aspects of the studio. So being able to pair that with being on air or just being able to develop all of these skills, I thought was really important, because as a studio crew, you know the studio very well, but being a lab attendant, you just know it so much more. And you learn way more things than just being involved in the studio crew.
Mm-hmm. And so you talked about Sports Night and Nittany Talk. Do you go on air at all for any of those?
I've gone on air for Sports Night a few times. It was definitely scary at first because I hadn't really gone on air too many times, and it was something definitely out of my comfort zone, kind of similar to this interview, something I'm not really used to. But you just kind of find your rhythm, you find your groove, and it felt really important to be able to try new things and know both sides of the camera. I think it's really important to make sure that you're really, really well-rounded in this field and not just solely focus on being in front of the camera or being behind the camera. When you're a balanced individual, you kind of open the doors to so many different opportunities as you progress through college. And I thought that was really important coming to Penn State.
Mm-hmm. And when you're on air for Sports Night, Nittany Talk, and whatever else you may, and in this interview, what are you talking about?
In Sports Night, I was recently a beat reporter for softball, so analyzing players, analyzing game. In Nittany Talk, it's definitely more lighthearted. It's not as serious as Sports Night or news, for example. In Nittany Talk, I've been on air as a host and the interviewer, and you can kind of just make a fun monologue, kind of poke fun at your friends, poke fun at yourself, and just keep everything really lighthearted, which makes it a lot easier to be able to go on air.
And you're doing all these different jobs on air, behind the scenes, on camera. How do you keep your creativity level so high when you're doing the same things over and over each day?
It's definitely difficult, but I find that it's really good to kind of reach out to other people. When I'm struggling with a host monologue, I talk to different people who I find really funny or I know are really charismatic. And I'm like, okay, how do I make this joke better? You can be a better writer than me. This is what I'm starting with. Where do I go from here? People who have had more experience than I have. There's my beat reporting teammates. Some of them were already beat reporters. So I kind of used experiences that I already had in comm agency as a videographer and shots and being a photographer, and I brought those to the table, and I was like, how can we implement this into what we're currently doing? So when we were beat reporting, we decided to try and make an idea of making a package following a specific player who was transitioning from one D1 sport to another, and at Penn State, which is a feat in itself, and being able to go from one sport to another is really a huge accomplishment, and just it's kind of something you don't see every day.
And you talked about working so well with your other beat reporters. How else do you use the other people in your organizations to your advantage? Because you're doing all these things. So I'm sure you get very close with everybody.
I would like to think I'm very close with a lot of people that I know. I wouldn't necessarily call it an advantage. I would like to think of it more as we've developed this connection with each other, and we're willing to use each other to climb a ladder. It's not necessarily I'm using you for my advantage. It's like we're both trying to get somewhere in our life, and if you can help me, then I'll help you. It's you rub my back, I'll rub yours. That's kind of what it is. And that's kind of important in this field of communications and going into the media field. It's like you can't just use people and say, I want, you give me. It's really not what we do. Like you can't really do that.
Mm-hmm. And getting back to your job a little bit, what are your responsibilities as a lab attendant? Because I'm sure it's definitely not just one thing.
Certainly not. Whenever my boss Dugan needs me in the studio, he'll send us an email. Can you cover shift on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon? Is there this teacher wants you to come into the studio, wants to show her class around? There's so many different moments of if something breaks. Oh, can you fix it? Try and just put things away, keep the studio in order. But even just keeping the environment positive, like, yeah, we just sometimes sit at a desk and we're kind of in our own world doing work, but we also develop such strong friendships with the people in these shows that use the studio. Like, there's many people in news, Sports Night, Nittany Talk, all of these people. Even if I wasn't in those shows, I would still know almost all of you by name because we're so heavily involved and we know the show so well, we know these people so well, that you just become that kind of constant person that people know you can go to. They can go to if they need help with things. And I think that's really a good thing.
And you know a lot of people that are coming in and out of the studio every single day. How do you work with the other lab attendants? What's your relationship like with them?
I would like to think they're pretty great. Gabby's great. Marina's great. All of my other fellow lab attendants are fantastic. If we couldn't get along, it would kind of be a problem in the studio because you kind of have to work very cohesively with one another, which would make it a challenge if there was butting heads. But even still, I'm a very big believer in leave your personal things at the door. And there's a line of separation. If you're having personal issues or professional problems, you leave them at the door and you go about your day. No one should really know what's going on behind the scenes. But if it happens, it does happen. We're all human. Things happen. Things bleed into one another. But I like to think they're pretty great and they like me. I don't know.
And maybe outside of the people, what's your favorite thing about the studio?
So I'm a day one audio person. Like, technically, I loved audio. That's what I started with. You can kind of just hide in the back corner. You get to listen to everyone, and you're really important. And you just kind of get to sit back there and just observe everything. And starting out, I was really quiet. I was definitely a little more shy, a little more introverted coming into college because I'm originally from Maine. And so making that jump from a smaller school to Penn State was a little scary, and I wasn't super involved at first. So that's just like my safe space is like audio. But in general, I have so much fun with the technical board and just trying new things and creating things in the studio and just being able to have this at my disposal is amazing.
It's definitely always a blast. Well, thank you so much for coming in to chat with us tonight, Hannah. Now stick around because coming up next, Alicia and Kaitlyn will have the latest news from across the nation.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
The armed man who tried to storm the lobby of the White House Correspondents' Association dinner has been charged with attempted assassination of President Trump. The president was immediately evacuated and was not injured. One Secret Service officer was struck, but was protected by a bullet-resistant vest. The suspect, 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, was tackled and taken into custody. He also faces 2 firearm-related charges, including assaulting an officer with a deadly weapon. Trump later addressed the reporters at the White House, calling the presidency, quote, a dangerous profession.
Millions of Americans may now qualify for dual Canadian citizenship under a new law expanding who can claim it. Officials say people with a Canadian parent, grandparent, or even older family ties may already be citizens and just need to apply for proof. Immigration lawyers report a surge in requests, with some saying they are now overwhelmed by new cases. Applicants say politics, job opportunities, and family history are driving their interest in moving or working in Canada. The application fee is about $75, and processing times are now around 10 months as demand continues to grow.
Wildfires are tearing through the southeast, killing a volunteer firefighter in Florida and destroying more than 120 homes in Georgia. James Cruz died Thursday after suffering a medical emergency while battling a brush fire in Nassau County, Florida. In Georgia, 2 large blazes have devastated rural counties, with nearly 4,000 homes still under evacuation orders. Governor Brian Kemp says the Brantley County fire is the most destructive single wildfire in state history. More than 150 additional wildfires are still burning across Georgia and Florida.
A powerful EF4 tornado tore through Enid, Oklahoma, leaving a path of destructions across the city. The storm stayed on the ground for about 9 miles with winds up to 170 miles per hour. At least 40 homes were damaged, some ripped from their foundations, and buildings were reduced to rubble. Despite the damage, no deaths were reported and only minor injuries occurred. Crews are now clearing debris as more severe weather remains possible. Now over to Lauren with the latest in international news.
Thanks, Kaitlyn. I'm Lauren Perry with your international news update. Mali's defense minister was killed Saturday following a wave of attacks from rebels and jihadi fighters. The Malanian government confirmed his death Sunday, stating it's a significant loss to the country. The attacks started on Saturday, targeting the capital and surrounding towns. This marked one of the largest coordinated assaults on Mali's military. The violence continues to pinpoint the ongoing instability of the country. It also poses issues with security forces and their partner Russia, which also has troops in the area. 2 Israeli politicians, Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid, are joining forces in the upcoming elections to defeat long-term Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The 2 are making their party one, which will be led by Bennett, to strengthen their chances at the polls. Bennett and Lapid shared power with Netanyahu in 2021. That briefly ended his rule before it collapsed. Despite the differences, both leaders have the same goal, which is winning the election to replace Netanyahu. That's all for your international news update. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lauren. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.